Hi, I'm Bob with Pastor Bob Leatherworks. I'm glad you stopped by the channel. I've got a series of videos detailing the steps that I take completing an Avenger holster for a Sig Sauer P938. It also includes a double mag pouch or holder, if you will. And it's just the series of steps and tools and techniques that I use along the way. It might not be the best or the way that you do it, it's just the steps that I take. So I hope that you enjoy the video series, as well as asking any questions that you might have about the different tools and techniques that I use. So enjoy the video series. Thanks so much for stopping by. Alright, so on this piece here, I don't like these ends all jacked up in squares, so I'm going to kind of radius it. That's a little too big. Couple different punches here. Let's see if the 1 inch will do. One on this end, and one on this. So, ooh, that was a little too small. I guess I'm going to go with 2 different radiuses. One here. So, ta-da. Nice round edge, boom. So as I'm building these things, this is Herman oak leather. I mean, you think, well, there's no big deal between the different types of leather. But here is, I'm going to show you a sample of an imported leather. So don't mind the holes, because this is just a cheap piece of leather. I use it to protect my stitching irons when I'm poking holes in my leather. But you can see the difference just in the coloration. And then when you look at the back, I mean, this is just kind of a nasty flat, and this is so slick. I don't know if you can tell how slick it is. And then here is the back of the Herman oak. The color is just much richer. So I'm getting ready to stamp this with my maker's mark. And I'm going to wet the leather just a little bit, and I'm going to show you the difference between the two. I'll wet the import first. See how long it took for that to absorb? I mean, that's just, now watch this on the Herman oak. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. It's just got such a better feel to the leather. Yeah. So there is a difference. And I would say that the Herman oak is probably, and I'm just guessing, I haven't looked it up in a while because I just don't buy the import, is probably half again as much. And so when people say, wow, I can't believe how expensive that stuff is in leather. If it's made with Herman oak, now you know why. It's because this is probably right around $15 a square foot. Don't buy the cheap stuff. I buy my leather from a couple different places. I buy it from Springfield Leather. Really like Springfield Leather. And I also buy it from Panhandle Leather in Texas. So just kind of getting a feel for this is my 1.5 inch belt blank here. I'm going to kind of put a line across here. Scoot up. Put a line across here. So I know where to shoot between on my maker's mark. I like putting it on the back side. It's not real intrusive for the owner. Yep, should anyone ask them, I can tell them where they got it. Wax. Now I'll let this dry so the water's not in it. And then I'll go ahead and get all the pieces dyed. So I've kind of changed the layout of the shop. I replaced the leather loops with magnetic strips I got at Harbor Freight. Works out pretty good for the metal tools anyway. And I've got my shelves still up above it. It's got some drawer cabinets with thread and whatnot. And then the Harbor Freight magnets are not 16 inches on center. It's really weird for their screws, so I actually ran them vertical on these and then board mounted them here. And then I've got my stamps set up this way, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it kind of a long strip that goes along the back here and see how that works. I'm not real happy with that. Anyway, so I know it's not a whole lot of money for these little daubers. But yeah, after using them, I put them in a Ziploc bag and can use them over and over again. Some of these I've had for well over a year. I just roll it up as I'm putting them away, squeeze all the air out. Yeah, all of these different ones. Seems to work out pretty well. The only one that I haven't had luck with, the walnut, you can see there, is the one for the Super Sheen. This stuff here, those dry out. I don't care what you do. So it's a one-time use thing. So anyway, so I know it's not a whole lot of money for these little daubers, but yeah, after using them, I put them in a Ziploc bag and can use them over and over again. Some of these I've had for well over a year. I just roll it up as I'm putting them away, squeeze all the air out. Yeah, all of these different ones. Seems to work out pretty well. The only one that I haven't had luck with, the walnut, see there, is the one for the Super Sheen. This stuff here, those dry out. I don't care what you do. So it's a one-time use thing. So anyway, so we've got my light brown dauber. Oh, and I have no affiliation with any of this stuff, but these are the gloves that I buy. They're cheap. I bought like a whole case of them on Amazon some time back. I don't know what they're running now. Of course, I probably bought them during the height of COVID, so I paid double what they should have cost. But anyway, that then doesn't get on my fingers. I still got some dye on my hand from the last time I forgot to put my gloves on. That happens from time to time. My goodness, that looks splotchy. Well, one of the nice things about Herman oak leather is, man, it really absorbs the dye nicely, nice and evenly. Try to always do the edge first, just so I don't put my fingerprint in the middle of the dye that I've applied to the front surface. So this will be the outside piece of the holster. Some people will put oil on it first, neat's fit oil. If the leather looks real dry, I might do that from time to time, but typically I don't. I try to keep my leather stored in a climate-controlled environment with little to no sun exposure. My shop has got a lot of windows in it, which I like, especially during the summer. But I've got my leather blocked off so the sun can't get directly to it. On this, that center cutout of my pattern that I showed you earlier, a lot of this is going to be cut off, so I'm not even going to mess with dyeing it out on the outer edges. And really the only thing that's gonna show is this part right here that the client will end up seeing. Make sure that, and possibly down here at the bottom. So, and then this piece here is going to go on the top around the top of the holster to kind of give it some rigidity, and it also doubles as the belt loop on the back. And this, even though it's the same medium brown, I like to make it just or not medium brown, light brown, sorry. I like to make it contrast just a little bit, so I'm going to go a little heavier on the dye. It's all dry from the stamping, so excellent. let that dry. I'll put this jogger back in its bag. Then I just roll it out. So make sure all the air is out. And ta-da. Put it back in my pile. Come back when it's dry.